This conference will now be recorded.
So what's the last class?
We did nested if statements.
Nested if statements. Okay. So I think I just introduced some echo rank, echo health, right? Have you gone through that one? Hmm?
I did a little bit.
Okay. What's your star in your echo rank?
I think 2 stars right now.
Okay. What about others?
I haven't started it. I'll probably start this week.
Okay, so try to work with multiple programs. Actually, the echo rank is giving us short answers and little tricky questions. So once if you have it, echo rank, then we need to talk other websites like Hacker Health and Lead Code. So those things will help you a lot in when you're cracking some what interviews and other stuff. And so this particular class, I would like to talk about while loop, so loops concepts. So tell me what's exactly the loops will help you.
Do something in a repetitive manner.
Yeah. So for example, you have some specific task. You have some specific task. It will repeat it multiple times continuously. The same task, it can be repeated multiple times in the same time in the same program, okay, concurrently. Then this kind of situation, if you want to iterate this particular task, if you want to iterate this particular task, then loops will help you, okay, just to iterate a task multiple times, right? Iteration we can perform with help of the loops concepts, okay. So when you are using the loops, then what is the advantage? The advantage is, for example, the same task I want to be repeat 10 times. The same task I want to repeat 10 times. For example, the code of the task one, the logic of the task one, it around, for example, 10 lines. So which means if you want to iterate this same thing, again, we should write the 10 lines or not. Again, if you want to iterate the same task, again, we should write the 10 lines or not. Okay. So which is keep on doing it until unless 10 times has to be repeated, right? Without using loops, then what happens here? The code size which is increases to 100 lines. But when you're using the loops, so within 10 to 11 or 12 statements, we can iterate this particular task a number of times. There is no limitation, for example. So for example, the logic of the task is 10 lines, then we just need to add 1 or 2 lines extra. Then if you want to by iterate a number of times, that you can do it actually. So here the code size is it's constant, okay. The code size was constant, but we can repeat the task in a multiple times actually, okay. So which means code density is reduced. We can reduce the code density. The next one is, so for example, you have to repeat the same task 100 times, but so you repeat it with some copy paste whatever it is manually, but unfortunately while you're doing the program or while executing the program, we got a syntax error in one particular line. So again, we need to be modify the rest of all iterations or not, if you're not using the loops, okay. So code debugging and understanding will little bit tricky, okay. code debugging Code debugging and okay, modifications are little tough here. Not only modifications, okay. And so for example, you have to be repeat the 10 times, but you're copying and pasting. Unfortunately, instead of giving the 10 times, you mention as 11 times actually, unfortunately. then what happens? You're repeat the task one extra, right? For example, you have to repeat the 10 times, but unfortunately you made like 9 times only. You copy and pasted only 9 times. Okay, so by the time you have to iterate the task 10 times, but unfortunately it was 9 times, then what is mean that you're not satisfying the condition overall. I mean, you're not doing the task 100%. Okay, so that kind of things will happening if you're not using the loops concepts. So that kind of problems we can overcome with help of the loops. So when we are talking about loops, there are two kind of loops are there. First one is while loop, and second one is a for loop. Okay. Oh, while loop and for loop. Uh, Yesterday night I haven't sleep properly, so it was. So for example, we have a while loop, right? How the while loop can be perform the task? Seeing this is approximately equal to the syntax of the if and else only. Okay, but here the while, it might be having the condition. 100% it should have the condition. Okay, while it should have a condition. See, the while block, it might be contains the task. It might be contains the task. This particular task, it can be executed or it can be repeated until the condition is false. Until the condition false, until the condition is false, whatever the task you are written inside of the while block, it can be repeated actually. Until the condition is task can be iterated. Clear my point? Until the condition is false, the task what we defining inside of the while, it can be executed continuously. Okay, so the syntax of the while here, some initialization of some variables. Okay, and while, and followed by the condition, colon symbol, and whatever the task you want to repeat it, that particular task we should defining inside of the while. Okay, and no, so after execution of the task, so here we have a condition. So this condition somehow it has to be false, otherwise it can be repeated continuously. So for condition failing purpose, we have to be update the condition actually. Okay, update the condition. So if you're not updating the condition in a proper way, then the condition is never fail once it is true. So if you entering into the task execution and you're not updating the condition, then the condition is always true. It never fail. If it is not a fail, then the loop can be repeated infinite times. So we have an optional block, which is the else. So here we can write some kind of optional task actually. If you want to be performing the task, if and only if the condition is fail and while, so then that particular situation I have to be performing the any one of the tasks, then we can write the else block actually. Okay, so this is simple a syntax for the while and else. So else is optional if you want to be write else after the while. So if you don't want to write it, it's all about your choice.
So else would execute on the first time of the condition fails, or like anytime the condition fails?
See, the condition can be fail only one time. Okay, if the condition fail in one time, then automatically the while can be fail. The while is never executed. Okay, at any cost, if the condition is fail, that particular situation else can be executed. Let me take a small example for understanding that one. So while write a program for sample write a program for while understanding. Okay, so while and followed by the condition. For example, condition default it's a false. I made it. Okay, so here I have a task which is hello, and so here we have an else block, so it can be printing hi. See here, while condition is default to false, because of I mentioned keyword is false, which means the condition default it's a false. So whatever task we define inside of the while which is not executed, so here the condition is false, so that else is executed. Okay, for example, without using else, what happen we'll see. If you're not using else, then it's not doing anything actually. It's all about your choice whether you want to use or not. It's up to your choice, but else can be executed at what situation the while is failed, that particular situation only the else can be executed. Okay, for more understanding of while and for, so I just want to repeat a task. uh, I want to print hello 10 times. Okay, this is my task actually. Previously the default the condition is fail, so this time in one situation the condition can be fail. So I less than or equal to 10, so I'm going to be repeating the 10 times. Then you know what, here I would like to go for print the hello. Okay, see, this is my initialization, this is my condition. So I value is always 1. So if you're not updating the I value, then condition is never fail, because of I is constant, it's a 1. So if and only if you're updating the I value, then only the condition it might somehow in somewhere else it can be fail. Okay, so your while is repeated 10 times. At 11th time the condition is false. At 11th time the condition is false. If the condition is false, then high is executed, whether it is the first or first occurrence of the while condition fail, or in some all iterations are done, that time if the condition is fail, that particular situation the if and only if, doesn't matter whether while is executed, either while is okay executed 10 times or 100 times or 1000 times, doesn't matter whether 0 times, if and only if the while condition is fail, then else can be executed. Now you clear my point?
So what was my point was like, even if you put else or not, the print statement would execute, right?
Yeah,
That's
of
what I,
course.
yeah.
Of course, but you know, some situations, some situations break. See, is the high is executed? See, here the break is the condition which is the purpose of the break is stopping the block or stopping the loop, right? So here the condition is true, which is printing the hello. After that one, the break is executed. Once the break is executed, it doesn't matter whether the condition is true or false. It automatically terminating this particular loop by the time else is not executed. Clear? But if you return the task print hi, okay. See if condition is true or condition is false. Okay. So here I'm not using the break. Here I'm not using the break. Okay. This time what happens? So high is, it's not optional. It was not related to while and else. Executed if and only if the condition is fail. So here also you return the else block, but else is not executed here. The reason is the condition is not false. Even the condition is not false, unfortunately you're stopping this loop. If the condition is not false, but even though you're stopping the loop, that time else is not executed. But this is the block which is out of the while, so that it was true. Okay.
Yeah, makes sense. Thanks.
Yep. So break I was not explain as of now. Just try to observe here. Break is the just a keyword. It can help you. It just help you to repeat to stop the loop. Oh. What's the time now? Guys, sorry for inconvenience. I'm not feeling well. Okay, so the entire night was I'm not slept. No, it's
No,
okay.
no worries, sir.
Okay, yeah.
Take care.
Let's continue tomorrow. Okay, I would like to take tomorrow no 1 hour and try to practice it. Some I can finish it this loops concepts. Okay, but I try some examples. I'm giving an just use this concept and try to implement your own way. Write a program find the factorial of a number. It's a very simple program, guys, with help of the while loop. Okay, and next one is write a program find the number is a prime or not. Just you can write these two programs and please send the code. Okay. Oh,
All right, cool. Take care.
yeah, bye. Take care, Rajesh and Akhilesh. Pavani and Sri Lanka will catch up tomorrow to finish our loops concepts. Okay.
Bye.
Bye bye. Take care.